Hello, this is Oksana, and today I'm doing the Going Green tag, and I'm very excited to do it and have my paper down with questions in front of me, so I'm going to be looking down at those, but I'll just get started with question number one. What started it all off for you? So it's kind of hard to say because I've had these I don't know, bouts of, oh, I'm gonna be green, and then it kind of eased off of it, and then, oh, I want to be green again with my cosmetic products. So it's hard to say, but I wore very, very minimal makeup in high school, and then towards the end of high school, I only had a cream foundation from CoverGirl that I would use on pimples, and some kind of sheer glowy powder that I would just put on top just to kind of blend it together. And I wore those little Maybelline, not Maybelline, no, yes, Maybelline, those liquidy little eyeshadows, Cool Effect eyeshadows. I would wear those, and then I don't even know if I wore mascara. I don't think I always wore mascara, because I can't remember which one or anything about it, but it was just very minimal. I don't think I had blush. I pretty much never wore eyeliner. I didn't know how to wear eyeshadows, how to do any kind of looks with them. I only knew how to put one color on. So anyways, that's not really necessary part of the story, but at one point during that time, my mom's friend told her, and then she told me about Bare Minerals. I think they just started spreading at that time, and they were sold in the mall. And so she's like, oh, this is really natural makeup, it's supposed to be good. And I wasn't really into natural things at the time, but I liked the idea, when I was told it's very minimal, it's good for your skin, it doesn't have chemicals, that sounded appealing to me. I didn't even, think at that time about chemicals in my makeup or anything like that, but that sounded appealing. I went and I tried it with my mom, who doesn't really wear makeup, but she was persuaded as well. So we both got, I think she just got a finishing veil, and I got the foundation, the concealer, the veil, and all that stuff. And I wore that all the way into college, and I did not love it because sometimes that bismuth in there can make my face feel a little itchy, and it kind of emphasized dry skin. It kind of almost I don't know if it dried up my skin or made my skin look dry, I don't know, but I didn't love it, but I thought that it was, okay, and it's not like I had used anything better at that point because I barely used any makeup, so I figured, it's fine. It's only later on that I realized how much I didn't like it when I tried other things that I really liked. So I went online and I looked for alternatives to Bare Minerals because I didn't want to repurchase it, and I found Everyday Minerals. A lot of people were talking how that's, good bismuth oxychloride free alternative, and so I thought, well, that sounds nice, it's cheaper and maybe it'll make my skin not itchy, and I'll try it. So I went and I purchased samples of that, and there was a wonderful forum with a lot of really nice and really friendly people on there that I started talking to, and I just had such a great time. I'm sorry I keep looking down, but the lights are really bright and they're really bothering me today, so I keep having to look down. I hope you don't mind. And I just learned so much about makeup on that forum. I wasn't purposefully looking to be green with my makeup, but because that's the first makeup that I ended up learning about and wearing, and then I kind of stayed in that realm for the most part. And I just tried all kinds of different, I learned how to apply eyeshadow, I learned about all these brands, all these natural, indie kind of brands, and it was just amazing. Later they shut the forum down and they changed everything about their website, and I mean, I don't hate them, but I don't, it was really disappointing to me, all the changes that happened at Everyday Minerals, so I don't necessarily, it's not my go-to brand, but I will purchase things from them every once in a while, and I'm not against them or anything like that. It just kind of it reminds me of all the stuff that went on there that was like negative. And so anyways, I started watching YouTube also around that time, and I got really into makeup. I learned all these things that you could do and all these products that I didn't know existed. And for the most part, I stayed with that mineral natural makeup. That's kind of what my skin did the best with, was mineral makeup. And definitely mineral eyeshadows. I learned how to press them a little bit later on, so that made it like unnecessary to ever, you know, buy any non-natural kind of eyeshadows. And I was naturally drawn to green brands, but I didn't necessarily limit myself 100% to green brands, but I started kind of reading about ingredients and products, and it took me really a while to get settled on exactly what I want to use and what I don't want to use. I didn't necessarily have that mindset where I just want to use like the most natural, pure ingredients ever and, you know, just not use anything. Again, it was kind of more about, you know, well, what makes this ingredient bad? How bad is it? You know, just because it's not natural or it is natural. You know, it's not so much about that for me. It's about, you know, how my skin reacts to it, how dangerous is it? Is it toxic? All that stuff. And I would look into ingredients. There's so many ingredients out there, so this is just such a long process. And even now, I don't know a ton about every ingredient out there, so I'm sure there's ones that I will learn about in the future, which will make me, you know, use or not use certain products. But just kind of getting settled into what I felt comfortable with using, and I started to kind of, you know, realize that, oh, you know, I'm into like the whole natural makeup thing. I would still use, and I still do use, certain products that contain, in my opinion, not really, you know, harmful stuff, but that is not natural, because performance is really the most important thing to me. So, for example, my eye area is like where all makeup goes to die. So it just, things smudge and crease and melt all over the place. So I'm not gonna, you know, have smudgy makeup all over my eyes and be like, oh, but at least, you know, it's natural. Like, it just doesn't work for me. It works for some people, and I'm really jealous of that, but it doesn't work for me. And it took me a while to come to that realization and just say, you know what, how much of, you know, that ingredient is really going to be absorbing through my eyelashes into my body, you know, or through the little bit of the eyeliner that's actually touching my skin into my body, you know. Do I feel okay with that? And I realized that I did, because after all, this is such a minor part of being green. Oh, around this time, after college, a little bit after college, I started getting into like natural, like eating healthy and natural as well. And that really was the biggest thing for me. I feel like, and Alana said this in her video as well, and I totally agree with her, like, being green and being natural, you gotta start at the things that have the biggest effect on your body. So like what you're putting in your body directly, your food that you're eating. That for me is the biggest thing that I am strict on that. Being green on that, you know. And then things that you use all over the body, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, all that stuff, like that's a bigger portion. Face lotion, foundation, you kind of use that all over, body lotion, you know. And then once you get to things like eyeliner and mascara, like those to me are the minor, like minimal things. If I'm not completely natural with those, I'm okay, because having it last is more important to me. I am careful about my lip products, because you do potentially ingest that. I make sure they only have food grade dyes. I know some people avoid all dyes completely. I am okay with food grade dyes because I completely avoid them in my food. So compared to, you know, your average person that eats food grade dyes, the little bit of that I potentially might eat from wearing it on my lips is just such a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of what the average person ingests, that honestly, I feel fine with it. I really love makeup. I really like beautiful, bold, bright, vivid colors, and I'm drawn to that. I'm not gonna you know, give that up. To me, you know, if I didn't like colors like that, then maybe I'd be okay giving up dyes altogether, but to me it's just not worth it. I don't find it harmful enough to really limit myself and the colors that I can use. So I feel like I probably answered just a whole bunch of questions right there, huh? But basically what I wanted to get at is that I wanted to let you know how green I am, so that also you know how I arrived at that point and where I stand at now. So I think, what's number 2? What was the first thing to go, ingredient or product? That cream CoverGirl foundation. It broke me out. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was bad. And that was the only thing that I had used, that I was using in high school. So that was the first thing to go, and I had replaced that with the Bare Minerals when I learned about it. What are you, or what did you struggle to let go of? So like I said, there's some things that I just have not let go of, like not natural, you know, mascara, eyeliner, eyeshadow primer is another thing that I use that's not natural. So those things, instead of struggling to let go of them, I just found as natural as I can get alternatives. You know, maybe things that don't have parabens and don't have certain, you know, really kind of the more scary ingredients, but have like silicones or something like that. And I'm okay with that. So I didn't really have to struggle. It's more about compromise and finding that middle ground for me. What has been your best find, i.e. a green product or a tip that you're really glad you learned? I don't know. It's more like brands. Like, I'm really glad I found Silk Naturals. I'm obsessed with their lip products. Like, I don't know what I would do without their lip products because they just work so good for me. My lips are so dry, and their products are just glossy and moisturizing, and oh, they're so great, and their shadows are beautiful too. I love the All Natural Face. I'm so glad. That was a more recent brand that I discovered. Like, I had been using Silk Naturals for ages, but All Natural Face is probably like within the past year or two that I learned about them, and I'm really glad I did because they have such affordable products. They don't all necessarily work for me, but they definitely have some great ones that do. Let's see. What has been the worst thing about going green? What has been the hardest to transition or find an adequate green replacement of? So there's been a few things. This is going to be kind of repetitive, but you know, I talked about mascara, eyeliner, eyeshadow primer. I just kind of tried to find the middle ground of what I'm comfortable with on that. So I haven't, you know, found a completely natural replacement, but I found, you know, what I like and what I'm happy with. And some other things, conditioner has been so hard. No natural conditioners have performed for me the way that non-natural ones do. The silicones, how they're just so slippery and your fingers just run right through your hair in the shower. It's more like, and they get stuck in there and you're like, but anyways, I recently found the Desert Essence Coconut Conditioner, and that has been, that probably should go up in your best find. That is a great replacement for non-natural conditioner. It's not 100% the same thing, but it is by far closer than any other conditioner that I have tried. So super happy about that. Let's see what else. Another thing that's been kind of the worst thing, or you know, one of the worst things about going green is how it limits you. Like, I love makeup and I love trying new products and discovering new brands, and I'm so limited now because I can't just go into a drugstore and there's like 90% of the stuff in there I just can't buy now, and I have to order online. And you know, when like CVS is having their clearance sale and everyone's running and there's all those 75% off stickers, and like, I want to be there, I want to participate in that, but I can't. And so just all of the things that I've had to give up, like the brands being able to buy, you know, anything that I want, that's been hard. But it's not too bad because ordering online is kind of fun. Waiting for packages in the mail is kind of fun. There's some brands that you can find, like some physician formula products, some products at Ulta and Sephora. There's some more expensive kind of brands. I don't necessarily use Tarte all that much because a lot of their products I feel like are not really green at all, but they're marketed that way. Josie Maran is, some of her products are green enough. So there's a few things, depending on how natural you are, that you can find, but you know, it's not the same. You know, if you go shopping with a friend that isn't green at Sephora and they are like trying all this stuff out, you're just kind of going over to this little corner of things that you can use, and you know, then you're done. And the last question is, anything else to add? Any tips or tricks to pass on? So here's my, you know, to somebody that is just starting out or wants to know like where to get started, this would be my, I guess, advice to pass on. Familiarize yourself, and this is like some work, unfortunately, but you have to familiarize, it's such a long word, yourself with ingredients, and realize what you feel comfortable with and what you don't feel comfortable with. And unfortunately, you know, you have to, you know, search, Google it, read articles and things online, but really it's the only way to go about it. You can just kind of, you know, blindly follow a list that somebody else posts, you know, these things are okay, these things are not okay. And you can do that. It just depends. Like, I'm the kind of person where I need to know information for myself and make my own decision. And so for me, I kind of had to look into it all. But decide how green you want to go. Decide the things that you're okay with. Are you okay with man-made ingredients? Because natural ingredients, they're like so processed. All those minerals, it's not like they just dig it out of the ground and plop it into the eyeshadow. Most of the minerals are made in a lab. They're processed quite a bit, the ones that are not made in a lab. So, I mean, you can say that technically that's man-made. So figure out, you know, where those fine lines are for you that you know, don't want to cross, what you're okay with. And it's okay to not just jump into it head first and try to be as natural as possible right away and throw out all your makeup and get all new makeup. It's okay to not do that, because I think that can set up some people for failure, and some products, you know, may not work for you as well, and you might get frustrated and you might give up on going green altogether if you really limit yourself. And I know some people are fine and they can just kind of do the whole cold turkey thing, but for me, that's not how I am. So if you can't, you know, find a natural replacement for your mascara, it's okay. You know, you are doing a great thing for yourself and your body by using products that are natural. And if one or two or three of them are not, that's still so much better than all of them, you know, not being natural. So I guess, like, learn to be okay with that and put things in perspective. You know, don't get super frustrated that there's like this favorite product that you just can't replace, and you know, it's okay. Take baby steps. Replace things that you use all over first. Honestly, there's like all these things that are easier to replace and are more beneficial to replace to you than makeup. Your toothpaste, you're swallowing that, that's going directly into your mouth. You know, learn about that, learn about safe ingredients in that. Body wash, like I already talked about, you know, eating clean, and then products that you use all over. And when it comes to makeup, foundation, powder, things that you're putting, you know, all over your face, start with that area in which you're going to be making the biggest difference, and then kind of move on to products that cover a smaller area of your skin. With the exclusion of lip products, I think those, you know, are technically a very small area, but they are very important because you're kind of eating a little bit of your lipstick. So look into that, and foundation being green first, and then leave, you know, the eye area kind of things, mascara, liner, eyeshadow primer, leave those for last. I feel like they're the hardest to transition, and they also have kind of the least impact ingredient-wise on you. Eyeshadows are easy. Mineral eyeshadows are amazing. They have pressed ones, or you can press them yourself easily, so that was an easy thing for me to transition. You don't have to give up, you know, beautiful, bold, bright colors. Those are available in natural version. I think that's kind of like a myth that, you know, just because you're natural doesn't mean that you look natural. This is a very natural look that I'm wearing, by the way. I did my like quick makeup routine tutorial today, so I don't have false lashes on, I didn't do contouring, so you may think that my makeup usually looks natural, but if you haven't seen my other videos, but it doesn't. Like, I like to be bold with my makeup, and you can easily do that. You can achieve any look with natural makeup that you can with non-natural makeup, so keep that in mind. You know, don't let it scare you, and you can definitely buy very affordable natural makeup as well. You don't have to break your budget. There's very, you know, cheap brands out there. Just because you're ordering online and not going to a drugstore does not mean you have to spend an arm and a leg. So really, I just want to encourage people that are thinking about going green or wanting to go green that it can be done. It's not hard, and you know, it doesn't have to, you know, have this huge impact on your life and be this huge, difficult, daunting task at all. So I guess that is it. Those are all the things that I wanted to say. I'm sorry this video is so long. I feel like I just like rambled on and rambled on. But anyways, I hope that you find this video helpful, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye.